And we're underway. Quick start of this game as the other game kind of lingered on. So both teams underway here at the Pegasus Cup 2006 tournament. This is one of the games where one of the teams, and that being the Arsenal, can take the other team out of the tournament, West Coast FC. And West Coast FC wanted to continue on and play tomorrow. Let's get the keeper for the Arsenal FC. That's Charlie Pruitt. Number 1 is Nicole Argenteri. Number 2 is Andrea Hertz. Number 4 is Leah Pruitt. Number 7 is Danae Verdine. Number 8 is Adriana Giron. Number 9 is Abrielle Camacho. Number 11 is Rachel Curley. Number 12 is Krissa Johnson, that is. Number 13 is Leah Mohammadi. And number 14 is Madison Stark.
Emily, come out this way.
For West Coast FC, the keeper is Matea Zeinstra. Number 1 at center mid is Emma Cummings. Number 2 at forward or defender is Kiana Palacios. Number 3 at forward is Amanda Gerain. Number 7 at sweeper, center mid, or left mid is Natalie Kennedy. Number 8 is Emily Stile at right mid. Number 9 is Jessica Simonian at right defender. Number 11 is Alexa Cabrales at left defender. And number 13 at left mid is Natalie Jacobs. This is the girls under 9. They played 20 minutes in this Pegasus Cup tournament game here on the 4th of July weekend, 2006. Got a goal kick for West Coast. The Arsenal, a quick touch, and it goes out of play at a near side touchline. It'll be a throw-in for West Coast. Now down to Central, and they're now trying to work out to the line, but Emma Cummings was there. And now here goes West Coast with Palacios. Goes out of play, can't maintain possession of it. It'll be a throw-in for the Arsenal. No score here, just the opening moments of the game. A deflection by Camacho, and then now it's sent to the defensive half of West Coast. On it now is Herbst. West Coast on the outside, and also being challenged that time by Verdine. Lastly touched out by West Coast, and Verdine is going to throw it in. Verdine, actually there was a call on that, so it's going to be a free kick for the Arsenal Football Club. Goes out of play, and it will be a throw-in. Verdine will throw it in finally. Verdine has her teammate try to bring it down, and another teammate, they can't quite get to it, so the ball is brought to the center of the field now. And a nice quick challenge, and running onto it, Emily Style, but now toward the Central. And now here goes the Arsenal. Arsenal sending a pass toward the box, and a keeper, she comes off her line, does a fine job of watching the soccer ball and making the save. By Verdine to the outside, and it in the defensive half of the Arsenal, and it's going to be a throw-in. Danae Verdine again. Out on the wide for the Arsenal, and it was knocked off of West Coast, and it will be a throw-in. Verdine moving up, and they'll throw it in. Touched out there by Cabrales.
Emily, come this way.
Going to be a throw-in for the Arsenal again.
That's good, Emily. Goal side, Boo. Goal side.
And actually there was a call there, so it is going to be a free kick into the 18-yard box, deflected by West Coast. A quick turn into the box, but now here comes West Coast with it to get it out of their own defensive half. And the Central now with the Arsenal. Trying to work it to one of their wing players, but that didn't work that time.
Back, Emily, back. Watch the middle, Emma. Where's Alexa?
On the outside, Verdine.
Good.
Can't get it, taken away by West Coast. And they're going to head the other way.
Go, get up.
Kiana Palacios. Palacios on a run. Beautiful run by Palacios, but coming way off her line is the keeper, Charlie Pruitt.
Come on, Emma, let's go stay in front of you.
Nice decision by Charlie Pruitt to come off the line and help her team out. Obviously coached very well. Only two defenders in the back for the Arsenal, and they drive it up towards midfield. It's on a foot of Andrea Hurst. And Andrea makes a nice run. Andrea is in the open. Andrea takes a shot, and it goes off the side of the net, but a nice run by Andrea Hurst. Number 2 for the red and the white of the Arsenal Football Club.
There you go. You gotta touch the ball.
West Coast FC. Been going left to right. And the Arsenal right to left on your picture screen. A beautiful challenge that time by Emily Style, and goes off of Verdine's foot, and Verdine quickly gets it over to Mohammadi. but it's dispossessed there by Nicole Argentieri, or rather Emma Cummings.
Nice ball, Nat. Nice ball.
And a ball on it coming towards the near side, and it is out of play. Throw in now by Jessica Simonia. And now Emily Stile will throw it in. Emily Stile going to try to look for somebody in the box. Intercepted. Stile almost gets it in the net. Trying for that far post. Just missed.
Keep it up. Keep up the hustle, Emily.
Good idea.
So Emily Stile
Way to get up with her.
being the closest for West Coast FC to get it in the back of the net.
Get ready, Emma.
As of course Herbst was the closest for the Arsenal to get it in the back of the net. Going to be a throw-in now by Verdeen. Verdeen looking for a teammate. It bounces by her, taken away by West Coast. West Coast on a soccer ball in the center of the field. They're going to switch it to the near side. Stile knocks it off the foot of Herbst, who came over to try to cover into space. Throw in now. In the 18-yard box, Verdeen touches it. It caroms out of the box. And a little breath of relief there for the defenders of the Arsenal, but kept in.
Nice try.
Reducing the size of the field nicely. West Coast FC. And now we have the wrong ball on the field. Just momentarily. As they'll play with that blue one today. Arsenal will throw it in from their own defensive half.
Get ready, Boo.
And in their own defensive third, over to Verdeen. Verdeen went off to offer teammate, and now coming up, running back in the space there.
Fine, cross it, Boo.
It was Mohammadi, and then now off of Verdeen, and it goes over, and a keeper's able to make the save for the Arsenal, Charlie Pruitt. Pruitt saw that ball coming towards her and made a good decision and a nice save by the young girl, Charlie Pruitt. Verdeen will throw it in.
Come on, Em. Come on, Em, babe. Come on.
West Coast FC. A nice challenge in the middle of the field.
Here comes right here.
As West Coast FC showing that they can do a pretty good job in the midfield there. And nice turn by Herbst. Did you see how she changed direction with a soccer ball? Beautiful job there, and it's going to be a foul as she retried to get to the soccer ball. But Herbst showing her little skills there.
Way to battle.
Now toward the 18-yard box.
Right here. Good.
Deflected.
Keep coming. There you go. Right here.
And now it's driven over to Verdeen. And now it heads over to the far side. And coming out to make the save again is Charlie Pruitt. Charlie playing well today as the keeper for the Arsenal. Going to keep her team in the game. Mohammadi, and we have a whistle. The center ref is Mike Usher, and the linesman is Kevin Newen and Michael Pascator.
Hey, are you pointing in the right direction there?
It'll be a free kick now for the Arsenal.
Closer to Natalie.
Still no score in the first half. 20-minute halves, and we're working towards half of it
Go, Em. Go,
being elapsed.
Go, Em.
Here come West Coast. A good chance now. Pruitt makes a save. Ball wasn't elevated, and that would have probably been enough to get it in the net.
Get ready, Em.
But since it was on the ground, Pruitt, she's made some pretty good saves on the low side.
That way, Em, battle, Em, battle, Em, battle, Em.
And this ball sent in a defensive third for West Coast. Retreating back to get to it there as Simonian. And there's going to be substitutions now for West Coast.
Go for the ball, man. Go for the ball, man.
They're going to get two fresh players into the contest.
turn.
Ball sent to the far side, and a quick touch by Natalie Jacobs. And let's see what it's going to be, a corner kick or a corner or a throw in.
Throw in.
Stand still, Margaret. Ready.
Go out. Get out.
Into the 18-yard box, it's deflected out.
Hey, girls,
It's going to be another corner.
Got to come out of the goal.
Margaret Smith, one of the players that entered the game off the last substitution for West Coast FC. We'll mention the names of all the players as they touch that soccer ball. Off the bending ball now, West Coast in the box. Can't get another touch on it, and it heads up field for the Arsenal.
Natalie, you in the middle?
Go get up. Go, Mandy. Go, Mandy.
And in their own defensive half, the Arsenal, who had to retreat back,
Emma, relax. Get the ball switched.
and it will be a throw-in. A throw-in for the Arsenal. No score here in the first half of action. Greg Porter along with Corey, my cameraman for George Lydon Video Sports Productions. Join the action here at the Black Mountain Field number 1, and a save made by Zeinstra.
You can't let her turn there. Okay, you're 5 miles away.
Mattia Zeinstra making a beautiful save that time. She hasn't had to make as many as Pruitt. That's because her strikers and midfielders have done a pretty doggone good job of keeping the pressure on the defenders of the Arsenal. Into the corner. And it bends into the box, and Pruitt was chasing after it, and she's able to get to it. Beautiful recognition by the keeper there to realize that that ball was dangerously heading. If the West Coast FC could have had a player over there on the far side, they could have put it in the back of the net.
Hey, Boo, you're not the goalkeeper. Don't be the goalkeeper.
Throw in now for the Arsenal. Intercepted by West Coast. This one, Verdine sending it down into the corner. And it's going to be a throw-in again for the Arsenal. The Arsenal still with a couple of touches. Verdine off the collision, left foots it over to her teammate. Hurst trying to get to it. Hurst trying to left foot it again, and a whistle is blown as an offsides call.
Let's go, Mattia, quickly!
Lyman Michael Pascator calling the offsides that time against the Arsenal.
Look wide, Emma wide. Too much, Emma.
Cummings,
Emma.
and it goes out. And it is now going to be a throw-in for the Arsenal. The West Coast Football Club has had more time trying to attack against the Arsenal in this game, and they've had to make more saves. The Arsenal right now trying to continue their chances at attacking
Margaret, watch the middle.
and making the keeper Zeinstra make saves. Into the corner. Collecting for West Coast in their own defensive third. They can't hold on to it long enough. Here's Hurst. Hurst left foots it and able to make the save is Zeinstra. Zeinstra knows that Herbst seemed to has a good feel for trying to score, so she's going to be watching her the entire game. Here come West Coast now. For their opportunity in the attacking third, it's knocked out by the Arsenal. Jessica Simonian, and she's going to give it up for Emily Stile. Stile to throw into the 18-yard box. It goes out of the box, but a strike, and that is going to be a goal kick.
Boo, go closer a little bit to Margaret. Go closer a little bit to Margaret. There you go. Now you can keep her outside. And step back a step.
Keeper Charlie Pruitt, who's played a fine game. Get a chance to see the clouds there, adding to the humidity of the day.
There you go. Now you're there. Perfect.
On dribbling it now is Gerain, and she tried to go down to Central and dispossess, heading the other way for the Arsenal. Here's Smith. Smith bringing it back up from out from her own defensive half. And looking for her teammate there, and she could not maintain possession of it. Or actually, it was off a Arsenal player, so West Coast is going to throw it in. Almost a handball, but not. The Arsenal trying to collect it, couldn't do it, and the shot from long distance, Pruitt able to handle.
That's good right there.
And runs it off her line, and now
There we go.
gives it to her teammate to drive it down the field. West Coast now with the soccer ball. Coming back again. Continuing to put the pressure on it.
Rotate, Lexa.
Emily Stile in the corner. Stile being guarded there by Krista Johnson. And Johnson knocking it out of play. Or actually, they called a foul on Johnson. It's a free kick. Into the box, trying to get a header. Went off of one of the West Coast players, and now it comes back upfield. West Coast still maintaining possession, and they knock it off of the Arsenal player. And Alexa Cabrales, will throw it in. Cabrales has it bounce around, but the Arsenal have it. But now they have it. West Coast, and a knockdown of Charlie Pruitt, knocking it away. And Pruitt was way away from the post, but she decided to make sure that that ball was not going to bend back and come into that net. And the young ladies at this age really can't make it bend too much, but when you learn some of those things at a young age as a keeper, boy, the future is bright. West Coast now, as the Arsenal chasing the ball down, now into the Central. Over to Smith. There was only two in the back, just past the midfield line, but they could not control it. So now the Arsenal will take advantage of moving up the field here, running closer and closer towards halftime. We still have a 0-0 score. Coming in now for the Arsenal is Abriel Camacho. Going to throw it in. Adriana Giron. Giron throws it in. Gets it over to her teammate Leah Pruitt, the sister of the keeper, Charlie. Going to throw it in as the West Coast, as it couldn't maintain possession off of Giron. And there is a double whistle at the end of the first 20 minutes. It's halftime here at the Pegasus Cup 2006. July 4th weekend tournament, and we hope you're engaged, enjoying the action in the first half, because we will definitely bring you a little video of what goes on at halftime and be back with more action in the second half. Stay with us here from Black Mountain, field number 1. Action set to get underway here in the second half. The West Coast FC is going from right to left on your picture screen. From left to right is the Arsenal. A 0-0 score at halftime. Both teams able to move the ball well, able to try and get quality chances, but they just weren't able to get it in the back of the net. Both keepers have been strong, that being Charlie Pruitt for the Arsenal FC and Mattia Zeinstra for West Coast. And now here's a shot at just by the near post by the Arsenal as they make their quick run. The first one here in the second half. Again, your center ref is Mike Usher with Kevin Nguyen and Michael Pascator as the linesmen. Now here is Zeinstra, who is going to go ahead and do the goal kick. Get a good look there at the kind of a carnival atmosphere here at Black Mountain #1 Field. And it's a real nice setup for the youngsters to be able to have a good time here when they come up here and the soccer game's over. They can have some fun or if waiting on their game coming up. And we have a whistle into space, and it's going to be a free kick for West Coast FC. Kiana Palacios gonna either give it to her teammate or try a shot. That turned out more to be a pass. It goes wide, but still West Coast has a chance for it. But now the Arsenal push it up the field. And a beautiful play by Hurst. Hurst, one player to beat. Here goes Hurst. All alone. It takes a shot, and it just goes over the net. Andrea Hurst, and boy, did she put on a show there. Able to beat the defender by kicking it over her head with her back towards the defender and then go get the soccer ball and take a run at the keeper. Outstanding play by a young 9-year-old lady. But here is the Arsenal now. And a challenge, winning it, Giron. And Giron coming out to Verdine, and Verdine couldn't control it. Too much pace on it that time. Here's West Coast FC at an near side. And after the challenge, the 50-50 ball, it goes into the central now for West Coast. A chance here, and just couldn't get a lot on that shot. That was Emily Style. And now Pruitt will set it up for the goal kick. 0-0 score here in the second half. In the first few minutes, the Arsenal now being challenged on the far side. There is Hurst again. She wins it with that strong left foot. Here's Hurst trying to get around two defenders. Can't do it with the second one as Natalie Kennedy makes a fine play and gets it out of play on the far side touchline. The throw in for the Arsenal. The header doesn't go to the teammate, which happens to be number 9, Abrielle Camacho. But that's okay. They get to throw it in again. And now down the middle to the wide. Winning it, West Coast. Trying to get another attack going. But here's Verdine. Verdine now. Verdine. And Verdine is going to get called for a whistle that time. And actually, the center ref elected not to do that. Oh, well, I guess he did. Now off the free kick and coming over the Arsenal. Giron knocking it out of play. Throw in now by Cabrales into the 18-yard box. Off the header, coming out is Pruitt, and she's fearless. Pruitt coming out and knowing that the striker, Kiana Palacios, was right there at her doorstep, but Pruitt said, I'm going to get the ball either way. Pruitt showing a lot of ability as a keeper. Palacios trying to get a second try, could not. And that ball back in the defensive half, and it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in for West Coast. West Coast now. Lots of air under the ball. Palacios trying to get to it. Retreating back nicely, Madison Stark, and Stark good return by Madison Stark to get back to the soccer ball, and then she got some help to push it up the field. Verdeen will be able to throw it in now. And those little plays like that help your team out. And Verdeen and company now, they gain a whole bunch of real estate as they put West Coast in their own defensive third. Verdeen, Giron, and that ball is headed all the way back down the field as Giron couldn't handle it. Now to the central, staying with it there was Curley, Rachel Curley. Nice job getting it out to Verdeen, and Verdeen keeping it in. But West Coast takes advantage of that and drives it back. And Adriana Giron will throw it in. And his center ref, Mike Usher, tells her you got to move up and throw it in. Another position there, the collision. And over in the corner, the Arsenal keeping it in, and a whistle. Actually, it was out of play past the goal line, and we'll take a breather as they're going to check on young Danae Verdeen. Right.
How do you do it? The parents that paid are the ones that send that off, or how does that work?
No, like in this game being one of those. Okay, so Verdeen is going to be okay, but she definitely was shaken up that time. Comes out momentarily. We will announce the name of the person that came in for when they touch that soccer ball, and it's going to be a handball or a foul actually, as the young lady Natalie Kennedy pushed down. And the challenge there, and dribbled and driven past the far side touchline, and we now have a substitution coming in for West Coast. Emma Cummings is coming into the contest. Out of the 18-yard box, Cummings trying to get a strike at it, cannot, and driving back the Arsenal, but they're able to win it. And now it's going to be an offsides call. So a little bit of an offsides trap. The young ladies at this age don't really know a lot about that, but either way, you can't be behind the last defender. Otherwise, it's offsides call. Emma Cummings. It's going to be a throw-in for the West Coast FC from the far side touchline. Here comes West Coast now. Still on it, and a shot at Pruitt with the save. But Amanda Gerain, a nice run. Amanda, tough shot. Got it off anyways. And Pruitt covered that near post. Beautiful play by Kennedy. Try to get it to Gerain. It's taken away. And Hurst now. Hurst with against alternate number. Here's Hurst again. Hurst now on a soccer ball still. One more try at it, and it goes past the goal line. Andrea Hurst. Very difficult in this space to play. Man, she almost made an outstanding play again. Got free and would have been able to take a shot. But West Coast being tough in this game, that's why so far in this tournament, they still have a chance to continue on. They tied NC United at 0-0, and then they played Carlsbad Lightning, and it was a 1-1 tie. And here, if they win this game, they'll continue on in the Pegasus Cup Tournament 2006. If they do not, then they are through, just like the Arsenal will be through. The Arsenal not able to win either one of their first two games. Here's Hertz again. And an offsides call.
Emma, you gotta with the ball, Em.
Going to be a free kick into space for West Coast. Working towards that halfway mark of the second half. Only play 20-minute halves at this age group in a girls under 9. Hurst has a teammate there now, and she makes a beautiful move, gets around her, centers it, and takes a shot. The save is made, though, by Zeinstra, who has played well covering the corner there of the post. And deep back now, and they're able to push it up the field, but it rolls over to the central. West Coast has it now. Here's their chance, and a good turn on Geron, and a left-footed shot, and a handball inside the box, and it'll be a penalty shot. It's a penalty shot.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
Let's go, Natalie.
Yeah. It's sad to see at this age, but it happens sometimes.
Get after it, though.
Yeah, they do. Taking the penalty shot for West Coast will be Natalie Jacobs. Pruitt has played an outstanding goalkeeper. Jacobs, and it goes in! Pruitt got her hand on it, but the shot was hard enough that Natalie Jacobs puts West Coast FC ahead 1-0. So West Coast FC leads 1-0, and an outstanding job by Charlie Pruitt to even get her hand on it. And she did, but it just went by her hand and into the net. But Natalie Jacobs' shot was hard enough, and they have the 1-0 lead, and that just might get them to continue on to the last day of play here at the Pegasus Cup 2006, unless the Arsenal can come up with the big play and get one in the back of the net. This is the first goal that we have seen at George Langevin Video Sports Productions in 2 games. And yesterday we did a game over there at UCSD, and 0-0 score. And then we went half of this game and almost halfway into the second half before we finally saw a goal be put on the board in this affair. So both games have been played very well by both sets of teams. Into the corner. Tough weekend though, because a lot of teams have borrowed players, and a lot of parents are taking their kids on vacations. But these teams in the tournament have played well, and a shot off the side of the net. The try there by Mohammadi. Leah just needed to bend it a little bit more for the Arsenal. But there's Herbst, almost an opportunity, and boy, it was close there. But Margaret Smith standing in that space tall, making it to where the ball now is a corner kick. So the CK, Abrielle Camacho, will take it. Let's see what the Arsenal can do on their set piece here. It bends it far enough away to Arsenal players. They still maintain possession. And a challenge again, a collision, and that was a big collision. And here goes West Coast. Geron gets it, and now there'll be a whistle. And we'll take a timeout. The young lady got hit real hard, and we'll take a timeout. 1-0, West Coast leads. I guess we're going to still roll it. We're not going to take a timeout. I took a little breather, but the video's still rolling. So they drop it down right there as the young lady got up real quick. We didn't know how long she was going to be down, which is usually when we take a timeout. And it rolls into that 18-yard box. And a save made by Pruitt. The Arsenal in their own half of the field. Now trying to get a run there by Camacho. Camacho still staying after it, and it went off of West Coast. It'll be a throw-in. Only a few more minutes left to go in this under 9 game. Pegasus Cup 2006. Duran comes out, and there will be a foul on this one. And we will take a timeout this time. 1-0 West Coast. Oh, did you? Yeah, all out, man.
I would much rather be there.
Ready up?
And a try that time, and it goes past the net off the free kick. And there'll be a substitution for West Coast. Natalie Jacobs took that free kick try.
Win that ball, Em. You gotta win that ball, Em. You gotta win that ball, Em.
Charlie Pruitt now, and she drives it over towards us, and it'll be a throw-in for West Coast. West Coast with a 1-0 lead, and all they have to do is eat up time off the clock. In the game of soccer, you got that lead. You're not forced to do much of anything, but just make sure that ball doesn't go in the back of your net. And with a lot of the field to play, much more than a American football game, you can keep that ball the other side and make it tough. Arsenal in their own defensive half trying to get out of there. And here's Verdeen. Verdeen now making a run from the back. Verdeen crisscrossing. Verdeen trying to get it to Herbst. And it doesn't go to Herbst, but it goes to her teammate, Argenteri hustling after it. And it is going to be a throw-in. So the Arsenal now. Going to be a substitution for West Coast. Now Jessica Simonian coming in now. Verdeen will throw it in. Argenteri to Verdeen. It goes off of West Coast, and it's going to be a throw-in. Not a lot of time left. The Arsenal cannot continue on in the tournament, but West Coast can if the time runs out in their head. Argenteri being covered well. And it goes out, and it'll be a throw-in. West Coast now in their own defensive half. Don't want to make a mistake here. Just want to get it down the field. Headed out by Verdeen. And so now it's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in. Alexa Cabrales. Alexa getting a lot of air on the ball, and that helps her team as it still is in. And time running out. In the corner, Verdeen. She'll have to go a long way with her teammates. But intercepted into the 18-yard box, and now across the box to the other side of the field, which helps out West Coast. The more West Coast touches the soccer ball and more they challenge, they'll get the victory here because the time is on their side. And so is the scoreboard. Driven toward the central. And now here's Palacios beating the defender. Palacios, goal! Go, 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 Palacios with a beautiful play to beat the defender and kick it to the left of the keeper, Charlie Pruitt, and it's 2-0. And that right there will pretty much do it for West Coast as they're going to continue on, barring a big breakdown here in this tournament. But the Arsenal played well in the first half, and in the second half, they've tried to do the same thing too, but some things just have not gone their way. And that has been because West Coast has continued the attack, continue the mentality to get that ball in the back of the net. And when they found opportunity, they've cashed in on it. Bending ball for the Arsenal, headed out by West Coast, and it carried them, and now they have the big run, but it doesn't matter as West Coast will continue on in the Pegasus Cup 2006 with a fine performance today. The Arsenal played well too, and some of the things that they've done well in the past just escaped them this weekend, and they're going to have to regroup for another tournament down the road and see if they get back into that mental toughness edge and winning scenario that they've been able to possess in the past. So West Coast will test and see if they can win it all. We hope you've enjoyed the action here. These young ladies, girls under 9, surely we'll see these teams again in the future. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for Georgia Land Video Sports Production saying stick around as the two teams congratulate each other for the performance that they put out in this tournament and today. And we will have some interviews, closing comments in this game today. We'll be right back. Greg Porter back here with the Pegasus Cup tournament and the West Coast FC young ladies in the girls under 9 bracket, and they're going to tell us who they are, and they're going to talk a little bit about their experience this weekend and kind of maybe some family things that they're planning on doing. Tell us who you are.
Hi, my name is Emily Style, and I play right halfback. I like Pegasus Cup because it's challenging and it's fun. And for the 4th of July, we're gonna go to a park and watch the fireworks and play games. Hi, Natalie. Hi, my name is Natalie Jacobs, and I play left halfback. And my sister's birthday is in 4 days on July 5th.
Hey!
Hi, I'm Natalie Kennedy. I play right halfback also. And I like Pegasus Cup because it helps me improve in soccer, and it's a fun tournament.
It is. One last thing you girls would like to say, collectively, like a cheer or something like that? On 3.
What cheer? Wait, West Coast
Who rocks
the West Coast you know?
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
West Coast you know!
All right. Greg Porter back here with some more West Coast FC young ladies, and they were victorious today. They move on to the final day of the tournament. Tell us your name and talk a little bit about the tournament and your experience 4th of July weekend, and just anything you want to talk about related to your family and sports.
First of all, my name is Emma Cummings, and I play center halfback. And I was actually really surprised that we already got to make it this far because I didn't, this Pegasus Cup is a hard tournament, and I'm really happy that we got to make it to here. And
You guys doing anything for the 4th of July weekend or anything?
Well, it is my brother's birthday, the 7th, this week, so.
All right. Okay. Let me talk to your teammate.
Well, my name is Margaret Schmidt, and hi, my name is Margaret Schmidt, and I play center defender, and I think the Pegasus Cup is really a challenge. That's why I think it's really fun, and yeah.
Okay. Anything else you would like to say about the tournament or this weekend?
It was a really exciting game.
All right.
Hi, my name is Kiana Palacios. I play center forward, and I like this. I scored a goal today, and it was really exciting because we get to go on.
All right. Okay.
My name's Jessica Simonian. My nickname's Boo on the team, and I go to my aunt's house on 4th of July.
All right. You guys would like to say a cheer for your club?
Guys,
On 3.
who rocks the house?
1, 2, 3.
Who rocks the house? West Coast rocks the house. And when West Coast rocks the house, they rock it up and down and all the way around. Woo! Go West Coast!
The Arsenal Football Club and the West Coast Football Club played in a very entertaining game today here in the July 4th weekend 2006, the Pegasus Cup tournament. We hope you enjoyed all the action from the young ladies, and again, this is one of those weekends when a lot of young ladies are not a part. They get teams are coming in with players that they're borrowed from other teams and stuff like that. But today we saw a lot of good action, and we hope to see more again in the Pegasus Cup tournament in the future. I'm Greg G.K. Porter for George Landerman Video Sports Productions with Corey on the camera saying, take care of yourself and God bless. Have a great 4th of July weekend and save this one on the hard drive.